Quick reminder, everyone, this stock is intended for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors. With that in mind, want to jump right into SPY here per usual. It's been a few weeks since we last met. Last meeting was December 14th, it looks like, right through there.
Yep.
So a couple things to talk about here just in terms of where we're at, where we've been. We did see that technical bounce off of this reference point, this zone that was mentioned in the last hangout, and then that kind of Santa rally, that strong move into fresh all-time highs. Now we're kind of hovering there around 480, 5 or 6 day range here, tight range, right near the highs, right near 480. So the question is, what's next? For me, I'm starting to not necessarily get bearish, but be a little bit more cautious just from a seasonality perspective. We do have a strong kind of first few days of January, and then things start to get a little more shaky there. We do have a month that is going to have massive inflows. January is the biggest inflow month of the year. And so there likely will be stocks here and there, kind of, we've already seen this the past couple of days, but stocks here and there that are just seeing pretty sizable moves with volume and everything. So that is something to continue to watch for throughout the month of January. And that's just big banks establishing new positions in stocks. You can kind of see some of the beaten up names start to catch a bid, which I've been talking about the past couple of weeks, things like that, thematic plays like that. The other consideration here from a seasonality perspective, I posted this in the Thinktank a few days ago. Basically what we're looking at here in terms of much larger picture, year-to-date returns, SPY is seeing 3 years higher. Last year, 2021, we did have a very, very mild drawdown, only 4%. And so that's something to keep in mind as we move forward. Should we be expecting more volatility as we get into 2022? And kind of tying in with that is the fact that this is a midterm year. Of the 4 years is definitely the weakest. You can see that right here on this chart, highlighting kind of midterm cycle. And so with that in mind, just kind of looking at this as big picture, I would be more cautious this year, definitely, in terms of, as far as day trades, this doesn't matter so much, but as far as overnight exposure, longer term swings, things like that, you may want to reel in those targets, reel in that expiration, and think about that in terms of your sizing. Now, as far as price, main thing to watch in SPY near term is going to be that 474 zone, prior highs, prior all-time highs right through here. You can see this line coming across, horizontal line. It's kind of, I don't really want to, hesitant to call this support, but it is holding as kind of a near-term reference point. Those prior highs, near-term support in that 474 area. 480 is the upside high. That is the fib extension, as well as just a psychological level. Now, as far as downside, we're looking at the 470 zone. You have the 20 MA there. Again, that's going to be this kind of fib level. It's probably some volume through here. If we are thinking about volume profile structure, I don't have that on this chart, but you can kind of likely imagine it through there. And then the 50 MA below, sitting right around the 465 area. So just some downside reference points to keep in mind. If we are going to continue strong through January, again, the trend is higher here. So if we do continue with that strength, next up is going to be the 488, 490 zone.
Yep.
And then likely 500 just as a psychological magnet. So some levels to keep in mind there. I'll go ahead and pass it off to you, Mario, for QQQ and all the rest.
Okay.
You got host now?
I do. Screen number 2. Yeah. So welcome, guys. And that SPY looks way better than the Qs, guys. That's note number 1. That's probably the first note we gotta make, right? because what Kyle just showed us, it's basically this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days move that it's just moving sideways. We touched yesterday the 20 MA. Look at the market profile that he was relating to. So we got the 474. I'm just confirming that one because he didn't have the volume profile right there. For you want to see it right here. So that's exactly correct what he was saying, the 474. And I don't touch much on SPY, but 488 will put us right here. So that's target 1, 800 it is. The only reason why I'm looking at this one is because I want to share with you something, guys. So I'm going into the Qs, which is the one that I follow, and look at the difference in the chart. Look at the volume today. Look at the volume today. That's big distribution day, right? We're down over 1%, which is 1.30%. From prior day on higher than average volume right there. And the volume is increasing to the downside. Yesterday was a little bit higher, right? And then today was negated. So this is like an engulfing, like a bearish formation. That's what we have right here. Now, what's the other thing I wanna bring into your attention? Here's a bonus thing that I want to share with some of you. Some of you already know it. Some of you have heard it in the room and everything. So whenever this happens, this is the last day we met, right? And we talk about Tesla, we talk about Ford, we talk about Apple. I'm just checking my notes, and those were the things that we were waiting for a potential test of this zone right here. Look at the volume profile to your left. It's right here. So after this is where we have potential support. Where is that support coming? If you don't see it here from the volume profile, look at the prior high right here, right? This is the high. This is the pullback. We broke, we make a new high. This is the new high zone, right? So this is our reference point. We call it a pivot too. So we have it right here. We wrote it down. We're here on the 14th, December, right? December 14th. This is probably 15, and then I go on vacation, of course. And then Monday, you gap down right here. One of the few rules that I follow, it's I don't short the bottom of a wide range. If you don't know what a wide range is, use some math if you want. So if you're coming from 408, that's the top of the range. Let's call it 400. Coming into support at 379 with a volume right here, with a pivot right here. Are you gonna be the guys shorting right here? That was the perfect entry. That's the day you gotta be buying. Let's assume you're not buying that day, right? You're waiting for confirmation. The following day, most likely it gapped up. You don't chase it. You can take the pullback into the prior day pivot that I promise you. Look at that. It's right there. So that's when you go long, you load your longs or whatever. If you don't do that, then you probably can wait for confirmation of the 50 MA. And what I'm showing you guys is just a way to trade ranges. This is what we're having right now. We're still in a range in the Qs. Are we going to see a lot of formations that are, and a lot of the trades and a lot of the great trades that you guys did over the last 15 days were inside a range. So it's crucial that you guys know exactly how, or have your playbooks, talk to Kyle, DM me, and I can show you more strategies that you can use when you're trading this type of setups. What I don't want you guys to do is be the guys late to the party, shorting right here, or the guys late to the party buying right here. Why would you buy after 7 days up? It's just overbought, plain and simple. If you don't see it, go look in here and see who else is paying with you. Nobody. You know, the last guys, they probably were working around the 397 area. So once you get into the 404, you're 7 points up. That's like a 2% premium that you're paying. Now, where do we go from here? Come right here. You have that move because it's a significant one directional move. That's when I throw my FIBs, right? Once you go through your FIBs, now I know my 38.2% is today at 393, 394. 394. So what I'm looking, of course, it's for a significant new high. We should take the high of today, which will be bullish, 402 for 404 for new all-time highs. And that should take us for 416. So the call that I'm making today for the Qs is look at the fib levels, right? We tested the 38% over prior day high, which is over today. That will put us at the 402. That should take us for testing of the highs, 408 and 416. That's the extension, right? So based on that, that's the main scenario that we want to see. We just saw what Kyle showed us regarding the SPY. Oh my God, my English is so slow today. So anyways, so we can see that the SPY is stronger, right? We can see it in the formation. If you don't know how to do that or how to assess that, just go and look at the last momentum. Look at the retracement, probably 20%. So we retrace half of what we retrace on the Qs. So clearly the rotation that he's seeing or that we were talking is tech is a little bit dragging, you know, what we are going to look for in the research. So we're going to be focusing on banks, probably. We're going to see some reopening trades. We're going to see where the money is actually moving, right? Because it's apparently it's moving out of tech. So let's go back into the Qs, right? So we have scenario number one. Scenario number one is like we're going to continue with this small pattern that started right after Christmas, right into the Christmas rally. So we just taking a little breather right here, some profit taking from people that make a lot of money, right? And now what we're waiting is for confirmation. The confirmation is going to come over 402. Can we trade below? Absolutely. You can probably start loading based on your strategies. If you are the guy that enter a 50% retracement, you know where that is. So that's the 390 and that's the 50 MA. So if we see some testing tomorrow for intraday trades, that's going to be awesome. Now, would you go bullish or would you go swinging from that point? That's a different question that we got to assess, right? The main thing, remember 402, that will be the confirmation. 405, that will be like go, go, go. 408, absolutely. 416. So we got those. Now, if we start coming down, I'm not going to get bearish, right? I'm not going to get bearish unless I'm doing some intraday trade, right? Like for 393 to 390, that's a 1% move, right? But I'll be paying attention, especially to this zone right here, the 380. So what we are is we are inside a range. So I'm going to call this one a range. Still, the Qs are still in a big range between 380, and I hope you guys see it. If you don't, just let me know and I can show it to you. Between 380 and 404. You can call that 405, right? So that's the range. We're going to try to position ourselves for a move based on a shorter structure that can take us to new high. That's all we're going to do, okay? So let's go with the normal thing that we see. So let's go to see Apple, right? So Apple, I've been talking about this one for a long time. You guys know. So we have this. So basically we did nothing from the high in January, 145, until probably 147, which was in November, right? Based on where you enter, of course, but basically this is the definition of a base. So what we had is a base. We try to break on some news, we pull back, and this is a perfect entry right here, 130, right? That was a monthly. Now let's go into the weekly chart and let's see what we have. And then we're going to see a most beautiful chart. This is great chart, right? All we have is same thing from 830 all the way to 10, 11. So this is like 2 months that you have just to position yourselves if you're the one that is going to go trade it. I think we call this one 141 to 151. And then the Opinicus target for Apple was 180 hit exactly on 12/13. So that was good. Where do we go from here? What we have right here is like extension right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 months up, right? I usually don't buy it unless we have a pullback, right? For this type of swings and everything. So remember, last time that we got really paid was when we bought it at 140. That was around here, the 140, 160. That was a great trade. And then we have this little bit of momentum. This is the Qs. This is the Qs doing exactly the same thing. So you time it with the market. It's just a trade with the market. It's just a market play. So what I want to see is like, let's keep an eye on Apple, because that could be the one that leads the Qs, right? So I'm going to be looking at 183, right? For, I think the last call for that we have for the last time we meet was the 190, 200, right? So now it's going to be 183 for 190 for 200. That's it. Nothing special about this one. It's just the market. It's the market. You see, it's like down 1220. You go, you put the Qs, and there it is, 1220. Just with the market. When you want to do a market play at key levels or something, you just go and do Apple. That's, you know, you guys know that that's one of the things I do. Let's see Amazon, which is another one, right? Supposedly was another, should have been another market play. It didn't. So we can see right here that we have done nothing. Look at the monthly chart. It's just sideways, continues. I don't know if this is going to be accumulation or distribution. I don't know. I haven't read anything about sales or how the Christmas was going and everything, but I don't like at all. What I don't like about this one is the fact that the Qs at least try to make a run. SPY is making a run. Stocks like Apple are making a run. This one, dead money, absolute dead money. Now, when do we get interested in this one? Well, when it starts to move, right? We're not into the, I mean, for the most part, we don't hold long-term stuff. So I want Amazon to start showing me moves, strength, and once I start seeing us, it starts to tell us that it's going to move, then we jump in and then we get into the trades. So for this one, I don't want to, let me just check the weekly. Let's do the work. I don't see anything. I see massive volume here. So 3182 is going to be key. If we break 3130, I think we can go for 100, 200 points to the downside. So Amazon, what I'm going to call is I'm just going to call it at point of control, massive volume, right? Massive volume. I want to play 31 by 35, 31 by 35. Once we start seeing those levels, I make decisions. I either, based on how we get to 31, 32, 3180, I'll start considering it. Probably I'm going to take it short to the 29, because this is what I'm looking, guys. This is what I'm looking, all of this area right here. I don't like it at all. I'm expecting that these guys are just buying and buying and buying and buying, and eventually it's going to come some news. They're going to tell us something. When is that? That's going to be 201. So less than a month from now, that's probably when we're going to be seeing the move in Amazon. So 2-1 earnings for that one, 3,100, 3,500. Not one that I want to waste my time with. Microsoft, let's see what this one's doing. So for Microsoft, same trade, 1217, 1220, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, exactly as the Qs, exactly as any other market play. We hit the level. You don't want to be buying right here. You want to buy the bottom of the range. You want to sell the top of the range. Pretty simple trading. Nothing fancy here. And now, where are we located now? We come right here, we do here, and now we know that we are the 50% retracement on the FIPS. So it's retracing a little bit more than the Qs. I'm not liking it, but again, it's the same market play. So over 338, we go for 345. So Microsoft market play. That's why I spend so much time showing you the Qs, right? So you guys know how am I timing this one. So Microsoft is a market play over 336, 338, which is a point of control 2. So that's good 2. And target 1 will be 344. And over 344, we'll take it for 350. Simple. Don't want to spend too much time on this one because it's just the market. Let's see Netflix, if something's up with Netflix. So Netflix, they all, even the bad ones run on 1217. So this one run for just 4 days. So this is a sell setup, guys. We're in a downtrend. We're still pulling back. So my main concern is like now we're in the area where we want it to be, right? If we have this massive move up, then this is accumulation. some sort of volume right here. Now we make a significant new high and we got the pullback. The pullback is right on time, right on point, 587. We already have it once. Now, what I'm not liking it is that we are testing it again, right? I would have liked this one to make a higher low, right? This one, higher low, but we're testing the low. So I assume this one's gonna probably sell off all the way to 564. What I wanna see for Netflix, I wanna call it a monthly buy, I'm sorry, monthly buy. My strategy calls for this one to take the high of the prior month. So we're gonna have to wait probably till February. And I assume that's when we're gonna get the earnings report, 120, end of the month. So probably end of the month, what I wanna see is 616, regain the 50 MA, and then we go 616, 640, 660. Okay, earnings coming too. I don't like this one. I want to repeat that one. I don't like it making or retesting these prior levels on high volume. Volume is about to disappear right here, so I don't have anything until I get to the 550 or the 200 MA. So this one can absolutely pull back a little bit more, and then we go back into the monthly buy. It's a monthly buy setting up. It's not ready yet. The way we know is once we start hitting 620, and I just like to repeat this one so you guys don't feel compelled into, you know, like jumping into the trade prior to it triggering, actually triggering, because it might take a month. So Google, another one that is being dead money. So same story as with everything with the market, 5 days Santa Claus rally. If you pick it at 2,700, you make a lot of money. That was a 5-day run. Where are we right now? We just at the point of control. If you go into the monthly chart, you don't see much right here. I mean, like what's there? All the big volume is right here. In here, somewhat increasing. So if we go from here all the way to 1676, so that's like $1,000 when it was like actual volume. So let's see if people are actually buying this one up. The way to know again is 2968. So over 2968, we start looking at Google again. Over 2968. Again, it's all based on how you can trade. Can you trade in here? Yes, you'll be trading a range, and your range trading will be 2919 for 2980. So for those 70 points, absolutely, but that's not the point of this research thing. I'm not going to tell you what to do tomorrow on a range trade because everybody knows how to trade a range. So no need to go there. So that's Google, and let's go to the metaverse. So here's a Meta stock. So we have this discussion, and that was like 12.3, and then we have the 12.20. I'm going to mark this one down right here, the 12.20, and that's what I wanted to see, right? We're here moving up sideways, new high, pullback, a little excessive. This is what I'm expecting on, what was it? What was the trade that I was saying? On Netflix, right? Probably is going to overshoot below the prior pivot, and then we're going to start building up our position. So this is what we have. We have here higher low, clear, higher low pivot over point of control. Nasdaq sold off. This one's not moving. So we're going to have 30, I think it's 350, 355. That's when we start getting excited about trading Meta again. Reason here, look at the weekly, look at all the volume that is being done here. So we are at key level, somewhat a key level, right? Do you want to short it? You can short it if you want under 33 for 8 points, but that's not my trade. That's not the type of trading I do. So I'm just waiting for this one to show me that is ready to go either side with strength. So that's what I'm waiting. So I'm going to call it 350 for an aggressive entry. 350, 355, and then we go 370. Okay, and we have earnings. I'm pretty sure we have earnings coming on 126. So write that down, because probably next week we're gonna meet before the earnings for Meta. for the metaverse. So let's go with the chips. So here's Nvidia. So what are we seeing here is just like very strong trade, very strong chart right here. We coming into all-time highs, massive move. This stock was like 140 to 340 last year. That's amazing. Look at this. Look at this amazing move. That's what you want to have. That's the type of trades that I want to be in for sure. So what we have right here is just the base, right? It's actually correcting through time, I'll say. Like even if we go with a Fibonacci trade, let me just do it pretty fast right here. I just want to make sure that we have all the bases covered. Let's assume that's the beginning. Let's assume this is the A. Look where we are. We're in the top 38% of the move. So we're correcting through time, still a strong stock, right? This is one that we need to look for because look at the volume, where the volume is, right here where we are. So all we need is a close over 306 and over 314. Okay, Nvidia. Remember last time, I don't know if it was like, when was it, like a year ago, Kyle, that we said like, make sure you buy Nvidia when we go over 100 to 150. 150, everybody has to be on Nvidia. So this one might be a next run. So over 314, Nvidia over 314. I'm going to be hitting probably 360, 350. Let's call it number one. And then we do some FIB projection that would probably throw us to 370. Okay, so keep an eye on this one over 314. This could be like a couple weeks from now. All we need is all of these guys.
Earnings.
When's the earnings? Let me see. I don't have it here. I don't know why it's not showing. Probably the monthly will show me. Yep. 223. Running to earnings. Look at the weekly too. Try to trigger with the market, but this is beautiful. You have the pullback. This is the trade we call. I think this is the other trade we call. Like the pullback, here it is, massive run, pullback, and now we try to trigger. We try to trigger, so what we're waiting is for 314. So we're waiting for this one to be taken out, and all we're doing is trading 314 to 340, plain and simple, which is like, if this is a true buy setup, this should hit 340 and new all-time highs. Okay, is that clear? So this one, I'm going to put some color on that one because this one you don't want to miss. Absolutely, you don't want to miss for the next move in Nvidia. Looking great, Nvidia. RBLX. So what's the story with Roblox? I think it was like a couple of gap ups and we hit the Fibonacci 261. That was the day. We close it, we try to make another trade right here, and then it's dead money. This is my picture of dead money, right? What I'm looking is, okay, if this is a monthly buy, right? We have the IPO, we have the new high, pullback, check everybody out right here. This tail is so important. That's what we have right there, the 70, 70, 70, 70, 70. Exactly, because everybody that's buying this will have the stop like at 71.70, right? So one day they just take everybody out. Some people even try to short it. I don't know why, but they do. And then blast off for a 100% gain. Right now, what we have is, you see all the volume right here into the 70, 80 area, 85. I don't think we're gonna get to 85. If we get to 85, please call it out. So 85 is a 200 MA right here. So I want to check, I want to call this one 85 by 105. Okay, so RBLX, on my notation, what I do is I put it in, inside brackets, 85 by 105. And I put a note right there so I know it's a range. When I call it a range means that at 85, I got to make a decision. No trade is a decision, but I need to make a decision at 85. Whenever we hit 85, that's where you see one of my alerts is right there, 80, 90, 80, 89. I start moving it and I start closing into the 85, 88, because I want to see what's going on when we hit there, right? Once we start going over 105, you're going to see that we're over most of the, well, the point of control is right here, but we're going to be over this base also. We're also holding this gap up. So we're inside this same structure. Let's check out the weekly chart. Let's see what we're talking about. So we have the massive volume right here. This is the gap up zone, and we're pulling back. All I want to see is if we test 85, remember what they did right here. I'm going to try to be that guy, buy a couple contracts, not too crazy, right? In here, 85. If not, I'll probably wait for the confirmation over 105. Did I say 105? Look at 105 right here. This is 104.20. So this pivot, this one right here, 105, and we take it for 120, 140. Okay. That could be a trade for, problem is that my forecasting machine is broken, but that could be a trade into earnings. Earnings is 228, so we still got time. That's for March. 228 can probably give us like a decent trade into 111, 115. Okay. So that's one to have on the radar. So that's Roblox. Don't trade it if it's not in play, please, guys. Don't get in trouble with that one. The U, we definitely haven't traded that one. AMD, which is another metaverse stock. I have a, let me see, because we have the weekly buy. I can see it right here, the monthly, sort of doing a 1, 2, not a 1, 2, 3. I don't want to say that's not a 1, 2, 3. Second one is too long, so it ate most of the move, so I cannot call it. But a weekly buy, yes, right here. This is the weekly buy. The pullback, we hit it. Probably this is like with the Santa Claus rally. So you call 133, 157. Whoever did the trade, that's a market play, same stuff. So what we have right here, it's same structure. As long as we don't break this pivot, we should be okay. Now let's look at the week at the volume right here. So 148, I think we have it as a watch today from 150 to 155 as a range. That's a short-term play. So I was expecting this one to run with the market today. So 150, 155. But now, as per the chart and the weekly one and the red today, I need this one to get taken out. So 153, an aggressive entry, best over 157 for 164. So AMD, sort of a weekly structure, no longer a weekly buy, week structure. And we can do 157, 164, 157 for 164, and then all-time highs, new all-time highs. Probably is going to take us to 180, target 2. Okay, that's AMD. Qualcomm, which is, we've been waiting for this one to break forever, right? So this is almost a 1, 2, 3, right? So we have a massive move up, same stuff. We have the pullback. You can trade that one, and this is what we're waiting for in some of the other trades that I show you guys, like the second pullback that actually traps some shorts right here. That's beautiful. We don't have to buy it that day. We can buy it like the next day at 133. Should be a great trade. And this is target. I think I show you guys a couple examples on how to trade this one, a couple ideas that will be like from here to here. So this is range trading. This is simple range trading. Nothing new right there. What we have is like we have a massive move with yeah, it could be a consolidation. Yeah, it is a consolidation. You just look right here, right? It's a sideways consolidation on top of the range. So this one needs to break out. Absolutely. How do we know when to break out? Well, when you take the high. Pretty simple, because the high of this 192 is higher than the other one. So this is the reference point that we're going to be using. So 194.60 for 220, right? What do I like about this one too? Look at the squeeze. So Qualcomm is in the daily squeeze, and the count for the squeeze is 16. That means 16 days doing pretty much jack. Here, 16 days doing nothing, right? It's not being sold, it's nothing. Look at the accumulation zone right here, 142. Everybody was buying 142 right here. And then hopefully people are just loading and paying up 182. There was some news on Qualcomm, right? I don't remember what was the news that they propelled it higher, but I know there was some fundamental news, some change in fundamental news. So whoever wasn't here because it was trading below point of control that day got us by surprise to most of us, but then we have a setup right here. So what I'm thinking is people that fail to accumulate right here are just adding up to their positions right here. Remember Ford? We're going to see Ford. So you're going to see pretty much the same pattern in Ford when it was like at 10, we call it, then at 14, then another long base between 18 and 20. Now it's breaking out. This is what we're waiting for on Qualcomm. So no need to anticipate if you don't need to. 198, what is it? 193. So Qualcomm, 16 days squeeze over 193, which is all-time highs. And it should take us to, yeah, 220. I like the 220, right? That's a 10% move, about a 10% move, between 8 and 10% move. This is a breakout play, simple. We go to the weekly. Yeah, this looks perfect. This is the way. I mean, I wish this one wasn't there. So some people got trapped right there. So they may sell into that, but otherwise, once we take 192, 193, there's no reason why it should not continue higher. So Qualcomm, you put a color on Nvidia, put some color on Qualcomm too. This is one of the main trades that I want to be looking to. Very good potential, 10, 15% fast. So we got Qualcomm, we got TSM. That was one that got into the radar yesterday. We have this one. I don't know when we talked this one, but that was a 125 weekly breakout play for 142. So it triggered yesterday. And let me see the weekly chart to see what exactly is that. This one we discussed it. So 125, it's on, and we should hit in 142. So you see all of my things right here. This is a pretty simple trade too. You come into the weekly chart, to the monthly chart, big move. You don't chase. You have no business buying 142. You just wait for it to give you a good entry of 100, 110 with a $1 stop, and then you make ideally 40 times that, right? So that's the way I trade. That's the way I like to enter, right? So right in here, this one's going. We got earnings coming on the 13th, so 113. Here's another thing that I want you guys to look. I use for volatility contractions and basis, so I know how much time I need to use, right? How much time I'm expecting the move to happen. So if you come here, you're gonna see that we were into, I don't wanna count them, but this is like 20 weeks squeeze. Meaning for 20 weeks, this was doing nothing. By doing nothing, I don't mean it's not moving from 110 to 120. I don't care about that move. When you come to the chart and you see that this thing moved from 60 to 140, that's what I call a move. It double plus on 3 or 4 months. So those are the moves I'm talking about. Like right here, I don't care if like in 2 weeks, it make 3% or 5%. That's not a move. That's that. And this is why I use this indicator. So this indicator is telling me that we just started the move. Usually after we hit out of the squeeze, we should see an expansion that will take us like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, at least five more weeks. So we still got like 4 more weeks on this one. So this will go past earnings. So 142, 160 is very likely on, which one is it? TSM. So let's add TSM with the weekly breakout play already triggered. So we just need to get a good entry. I think a second day play today was good. The 130, 133. We're still there at 133. I want to show you intraday because this could trigger tomorrow. So 135 for 142 for 160 into earnings, right? Note weekly squeeze. Let's see, the daily should be out of the squeeze, of course. So I'm just gonna go a little bit here. So the squeeze was triggered like 4 days ago. That's a good indicator. Look at the volume right here. So yesterday, that's talked like crazy. This is a bullish gap, by the way, guys. It's a bullish gap out of a squeeze. So this is like a tier 1 gap that you can buy right at the open. And then today is a continuation gap up right at the open, you can buy it too, because you're taking out prior pivot. So I'm giving you a little bit extra information right there into how to trade those, right? Why TSM is in my screen. So then you go into the 30-minute chart and then you see like, okay, this is absolutely bullish. You have to keep it overnight if you were that kind of trader. If you buy it right here, this is an intra to trade, intra to swing. And then today you have the massive move into 135, which was target. And then you hit, you test the prior day high, 130, almost to the penny. And then what do we want? We want 135 continue. 135, when we see it, I don't want it because, I mean, I don't want it to start dropping and holding it unless we hold 126. That's my green line. But then it becomes a different trade, right? 126, we go back into the breakout point, and that's the second entry for the breakout point. That's another way to trade it. TSM on momentum on watch, okay? So that's TSM, that is new, that we usually don't talk about it. I have PayPal. So if you're aware, today payments and fintech was hit hard. Like we're gonna see Affirm, we're gonna see PayPal, we're gonna see all of them. What I like about PayPal, again, is a squeeze. So make a note that PayPal is at a 30-day squeeze at point of control. All of these are the filters that we like to use. Me and Kyle, we have a good understanding of how to trade based on those key levels. When we started doing these seminars, we talk about the key levels all the time. Now that you guys understand what the key levels are, we don't need to go, this is a key level. Well, it's point of control, so you know it's a key level, right? It's a major Fibonacci retracement, so you should know it's a key level, right? It's all-time highs, you should know it's a key level. It's 52, those are key levels. Yesterday's low, it's just yesterday low, right? So where are we here? So what I have is like key information right here. It's telling me, finally, look at all the selling that we have. It's making, this is a, not that divergence. We didn't make a new low right here. So this is a first new high, higher low, I'm sorry, higher low. We try to break today. We're not going to break today, right? With the market dropping, and there's, I don't know if there was news about this, but anyways, this is going to take some time. There's my alert right there. That's what I want to take it. 198, 200, 205, right? The big trade again is going to be 205, 220, 253. So for PayPal remains the same, exactly the same trade we posted the last time. I think we've been talking about PayPal for a potential. This is the big trade right here. So we coming from 84. Look at the monthly chart that I'm showing right here. This is the 84 all the way to 310. Massive move, pullback, 50% retracement. So we're looking at this 50% retracement, and hopefully this area right here with all this volume, once we start clearing it, that's going to be 198, which we're pretty close to that. So let's call it 198 over 200. That day, you can probably take it to 205 for an intraday target, but the second target is going to be 220. So that's going to be a 10% move for first target in PayPal, 220. And then we try to go for the probably this base right here, 226, 230, which will give us a little bit more. And ideally, we're going to have time to review this trade. So PayPal on watch, reversal trade. It's a reversal trade. Okay, but that's a main watch too. Let's see Affirm. Let me just double check right here because I see some messages right here. Marvel and TSM weekly squeeze firing. Okay, let me yeah, Marvel. Hold on, because I know this one is Marvel pretty fast right here. What do we see? What do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at the monthly chart, daily, good volume right here. Could it go? Let me see the weekly. Okay, no call on Marvel. No call. Just take it as a momentum. If you see 93, you can go 98. But okay, let me go Affirm. Yeah, I'm going to talk about, yeah, Alan, I'm going to talk about I go chips, China, EVs, and then I do the fuels. Okay, so for Affirm, this one I'm not liking it. right? We have it right here. We have the big move up, pull back, and now we're under the 98, which is the last part right here. So once we start getting here, I can totally see it going to 70, right? So 70, it's, wow, it looks like right there, but it's not right there yet. So let's keep an eye on this one because this is big volume, big volume. Look at the red is red is red. So this is a base. We just broke the 200 MA. So now it's changing. So what I want to see is I want to see an entry versus 90 under 80 for 70. So affirm to the short side versus 90 under 80 for 70 target one. Okay. If we see it over 110, you know that the trade is reversed because actually we start seeing is like we be putting like a sort of a pullback monthly chart. This is the other guy. This is the thing, guys, that is why I use my MTA, multiple time frame analysis. Sometimes when you're so focused on your daily chart and you don't have a reference point in your monthly chart, right? You're just looking at the daily, but the monthly sometimes is telling you something, right? So once I start seeing a firm going over 105, going over 114, I'm going to focus on this bar right here. And this is going to be my new pivot. And this is going to be my new direction. Once I start seeing like the buyers are strong enough to be paying up probably 10% higher, because we're talking 80 at the lows. So you're paying 105, that's 20%, right? So I'll be willing to take a shot for probably 118 as a momentum trade. For now, I'm just playing momentum to the short side. I want to be looking at this one. If we start going under 83, under today's low, to position myself into a possible sell-off into 70. So a firm stays into the doghouse for now. Clover, I don't know if anybody's trading that one, but horrible trade. Square, also known as Block. So check this one out. So this one, similar to what PayPal did, like a huge run up. I don't know if it was because of crypto, whatever. 67, this is Fintech. So now we're dealing with the 50 MA, but this one's like sort of failing. So I have a reference point at 135, which is a 61.8%. Now, when you come into the daily chart, what I can see is like we just broke this level right here. So we just, I don't want to say 52-week lows because this is like the second day, but we just make new low. Let's check the weekly chart. Let's see how we're looking. And we can test 135, 125. So another idea as momentum, if they continue with weakness into Fintech, could be Square on under below 150 for 135 and 120 and 125. 125 is a 200 MA. So, you know, you got to be careful once we start getting there. And 135, you know, it's the 61.8% Fibonacci. So you got to be careful once we start getting over there. And then we start looking for probably a bounce, a technical bounce based on the monthly chart. So for now, we're just trading the daily chart. Daily chart, playing momentum, see the lows, take the short. Once we start getting into the key levels, you flip into the monthly chart and you see if big buyers are going to start accumulating this stock. So let's do some chips. So MU, look at that buy setup. Guys, take a picture of this one. This is exactly what we're looking for in the other stocks that we discussed. Look at this. Comes, big move, 50% retracement, hammer or pink candle, shakes everybody out right here, makes a new low. People are like, oh my God, it's done, MU. You wait. If you have a, I don't know, a tarot reader that is going to tell you that this is going to be a low, buy 65. If not, wait for the candle to tell you at 71. You still make plenty of money. If you buy 71, 72, you can buy 75. If you hold it for target, which is highs, 50% should test the highs, and that's exactly what we're doing. 96, you got plenty of profits right there. So here we are, and here's a big question. Are we going to be continuing to make new highs? If it was 38%, I'll bet we were. But now what I like about this one is the formation that we have in right here. So we're not actually buying the top of the range like we are, but we having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, could be 8 days sideways consolidation. And if you come and see what the volume is telling us, look at the green. This was a bullish gap up on solid green, didn't get sold. People continue to buy and pay up on higher volume. People continue to buy and try to the break. Here's a pullback on low volume. That's exactly what you want to see. Red, low volume, green again, high volume. This is normal volume. So what I want to see is a breakout play right here. This is going to be for tomorrow, most likely. So MU over 97, breakout play, all-time highs. For target 1 for tomorrow could be 100, right? And then we go 104. It all depends on what the market decides to do tomorrow. So this one, put it on green, because this could be a trade that triggers tomorrow. So 97, I think it gave a great intraday entry. We hit 94, but I wasn't paying attention. So I totally missed the trade, but this is 94 right here, right at the bottom with the Qs, 94. Look at the massive move that we have. So I don't know what I was doing at the time. Probably don't want to tell what I was doing, but wasn't paying attention because this is a trade that I should have been on, like 94, 97, beautiful trade. So that's what I know, the 94. So that's MU, TSM we already talked about. What am I missing here? You guys say Marvel we already did, TSM we already did, plug is coming, shop is coming. So let's go to China because we got some news on BABA. I think Charlie Munger, it's long. Is that the news that I think?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they're long. So I don't know when they bought, but what we have is the charts, right? So what we have is like 8 days squeeze, not massive. Of course, the weekly is out of the squeeze because we're still falling. We're still falling. Let me double check this one. What do we like about this? I don't see capitulation. I thought it was going to be this one. It didn't, but that's my reference point, right? This is where the volume is, like 160. So what I want to see is if this is going to be the higher low, right? If that one's going to be the higher low, let's look at the daily and see how we're setting up. So we have confirmation, sort of confirmation, because we haven't break the high, but we have big volume like 4 days ago. So this one's the one that is setting up. This is my candle. This is my guide candle. Now you see that 123, 124. I want to take it 124 for, I'll say we go 130, 134. Now, why do I like this one right here? Because of the volume that we have. Okay, we have the squeeze. So once we trigger the squeeze, if we have volume, higher volume, something like 50 million, we did what? 23 million is 81%. So this day was like 160% the volume. That's what we want, right? When's earnings? We still got time for earnings. Yeah, we can absolutely see 140, 139, 140 on this one. I like this one. Make it reversal, please. You know, I always like to tag my trades when I'm going against a trend because it's still a downtrending stock. If you don't believe me, just look at the monthly chart. Just look at the location of the 200 MA. Look at the location of the 50 MA. Look at the location of the 20 MA. So at least what we're trying to get is from the 20 to the 50. That's what we're trying to get. So 125, 135. Over 125, 135. That would be number one. And then if we get lucky, we probably hit 140 and then 166. Here's a side note. Once we start getting over 140, the trade is a totally different trade because we're going to have a new pivot. We're going to have a new, most likely we're going to have a big bar that we're going to trade like this one right here. So what I'm giving you guys is like the potential for the first trade that we're going to have in BABA. Okay. So it's set 125, 135, 140, 166. We're going from this little formation on the daily chart to the 50 MA at 134. That could be for tomorrow too. That's BABA. BIDU, I think I saw it today, similar. We have the big move 3 or 4 days ago. We have the 50 MA. We can go 151. What is the difference between this one? So you guys understand why I pick one and not the other one. Simple. I trade volume profile and I trade Wyckoff method. So I need to see areas of accumulation distribution. So the main thing I see is like I have volume right here, and then I don't have pretty much, of course, there's volume at every price, but big volume, I don't have it like until 149, 150, 167. When you come into the BIDU, if I'm buying 152, I have volume right here at 154, right? And then I have 3 standard deviations from the last move at 156 with volume. And then I have 163. So you get the point, right? I'm going to have a little bit more of a bumpy ride. However, if I start seeing 154 being taken out, I go 154 for 164, okay, as a momentum trade. So BIDU, I want to do Momo 154, 164. And that's over the 50 MA, whatever that is, to the point of control. It's a reversal trade too. We're trying to pick this bottom right here, right? Big move up, came down, and we're about to, let's see if people are going to step up and start buying. This is target 174. That's target number 2. So that's BIDU. Let's do the electrics. So Rivian, that's an IPO. So usually I trade those on a monthly chart. So we only have like 2 months of trading so far. My main reference point at this time will be the point of control. So I want to keep an eye. If we ever start hitting the 114, we can probably have a good trade for 20, 30%. So with options, you know, guys, you can make like 100, 200% on that one. So no need to rush into that one. Push it too hard. Here's one of my favorite trades. Of course, the Tesla. So again, you guys need to know this structure already. We've been talking about this for 2 years already. So you guys should be aware. Up, sideways. Here's the base. You trade the bottom of the base, target 1. Here's the 38%. So once you hit a 38%, I'm expecting to make a new all-time high. So we did make a new all-time high. Once you hit an all-time high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, what do you expect? Profit taken. Profit taken into where? Right here, 900. Why? Because that's the prior pivot, right? So now we have the pullback into 900. I know some of you guys, because you send me the pictures, and I have to hand it out to you because that was absolutely perfect trade. So those of you that bought it right here with the market, amazing, amazing. So I think in the notes we say like you can short it from 950 to 900 you want it, but this is the area that I did not want to miss, and I did miss it because I was on vacation. So right here, this is your entry, 940. Put your stop on the low of the day and just go for the range, and that's the range play. So where do we go from here? So now we come into a point where for me today is not a buy day for Tesla. Why? Because it's a wide range and I'm buying the top of the wide range. Unless I see something extremely compelling, I'm willing to just let it go and say, you know what, that's not my money, but it all depends on how you trade or whatever, right? So what I want to see is I want to see some sort of consolidation right here in the 1200s, right? We have the volume right here. So we know this area is going to be great. If we pull back into 1080, absolutely. I'll be willing to take a look at Tesla, right? Or of course, if we have such move that we continue making new highs. So there you go. I have it at 1224, clearing all of this, like 1224. So after today, if we can trap these shorts, this can become like for a good momentum trade for 50 points, but that's not the big trade that you guys did from probably then. I know some of you guys did it from 920 for 300 points. So that's a 30% move. in like 10 days. So amazing. So Tesla stays as a momentum trade. If not, we look at 1080 to 1243 Tesla. 1080 to 1243 range. And you can do momentum, as I say. So that's Tesla, Rivian, Tesla, Lucid, LCID. I know it was on the scans yesterday, and I totally see what you guys are seeing. So I think we're on the same page on this one. Look at the monthly, sort of an engulfing pattern. That's not what you want to see, like so big of a move. The reversal from 57, that was when I think they got accepted, or they got the motor trend of the year, something like that, some award or something. So I want to see volume. 39.41, people continue to accumulate this one. So we see the volume right here, we see the point of control, we see the 50 MA, we see the 20 MA, but I see contraction right here. So low volatility, no volume, 45%. Yesterday was a low volume day too. So you don't expect this one to really run that much, right? The market was flying yesterday. Look at this, couldn't break. So now we have a good reference point. That's a good thing. So over, I think it's this high, we can take this high. Over 42.50, we take it for 50. So Lucid over 42.50 for 50. Those of you that traded this one, I think it was like a month ago, you know that this is crazy. This is a one. This is a one, right? Like 1, 2, 3 days, not doing anything, then it just explodes. And then this is like overnight, you get the gap, the news, then the following day is down, following day is big up, and then it's down. So it's I mean, take it with a grain of salt, because this is a hard one to trade. So Lucid, XPV. So XPV, I don't see much. Like if you look at the monthly chart, tell me what you see. I mean, I see a pin bar, but that means the market drop on the 20th. I need to run with the market. So that was another great trade to take from 38 to 52. That's like 14 points. So that was actually bigger than the market, like a 50% move in the market. Where do we go from here? All I can say is like momentum. If you see it 54, 52 for 56, momentum, not much analysis right there. If they continue to buy, we try to jump into momentum. So 52 for 56. That's all we can say about Lucid and I'm sorry, XPV. FSR was on the news this morning. I think got upgraded. Monthly is looking, forget about the red one. I'm looking at the volume. So once we go over 1809, this can take us by surprise, because I'm assuming this is accumulation, right? Didn't hit the 14, so they didn't even let it go all the way down. Let me see the weekly. Probably the weekly is going to show us something different right there. I love it. Yep. This is what I was expecting to see. So this is sort of a weekly pullback. The problem is that we're not, I cannot call it a buy setup, because we're not in an uptrend. We're in a sideways move. So what we have is a range. So we can call this a range between 17 and 22, which is amazing. So FSR in a range between 17 and 22. So all we need is some volume tomorrow that take us 1740, 18 for 21, and we trade that range. So let's call it a range over the 50 MA for tomorrow, 1750 for 1950 target 1 and 22 for target 2. FSR is a range, but it could trigger tomorrow. So on some news from today, how was the volume today? Low. Yeah, it's not going to break on low volume for sure. Now we have into the newest EV company, supposedly. So this is Ford. I think you all were well aware of what we were doing with the Ford. Look at one of the tails that I told you about. What was the other one that we have a big squeeze? I think it's Qualcomm. We got 16 days, so let's count this one. It was a big squeeze. So this is all accumulation. So it's just whenever you want to call it, whenever you want to step into this one, that's good. Or you can always take the formation. So right here, yesterday, gap up right there, long and hold it because we're going for 26 and 30, right? So biggest volume. Is that the biggest volume ever? At least in my chart it is, right? 311 million shares. So there's no reason why. So what this means, guys, I'm going to make a pause right here. What this means, like when you have such big volume, that means that whatever prices we have today are key, right? Because you don't want to take this day with low volume as your, this is the key day, right? There was no volume right there. So likely it's going to get tested or whatever it is. But this one is a big day. So we're going to take an X-ray into what happened today. So when you come, take an X-ray into what happened today, you know that the average price, volume weighted average price, which is called BWAP, was 2381, right? So I'm willing tomorrow to play it as a second day play, even though it's been going up for 2-3 days. But today for me is day one. It's huge. So I'm going to use this one as day one, and then tomorrow is going to be my day two. That's one of the distinctions I make. So if I see it falling to 2350, I don't care, I'm buying, right? I'm going to use a tight stop. I'm going to make sure that it's acting well. I'm going to make sure that it's not being distributed. All of those things that you should have in your playbook, filtering when you enter, when you don't enter, what to do, what not to do. But this is like, this stays absolutely 2450. If we see it over 2450, we just play it, plain and simple. So Ford stays as a momentum play, as a Momo play, and we should see 24. The base was on big volume. This is huge volume, guys. This is huge volume. The volume that they did at 20. Of course, 13 was the main, but now 20 is even more. So that was 13 to 20. That's a 50% move. I won't be surprised if this thing hits 30 for sure, guys. So I'm going to put 26. That's what we have, because the last time I think we said 22, 25, 26. So we're already there. We're already at targets. So target one was 25. I'm going to call it that one, like that's out already. So let's push for 26 and 30 for those of you that still have those swings from a while ago. So that's for this Neo. Neo was trying to make sort of what I'm looking for test for Baba. I mean, as far as the short-term structure. However, we're dealing with what is this fib? We're dealing with the 61% tested right here. So went back a little bit too much. I like it like at 38. I love them at 38. At 50, yeah, I can do. That was the example with MU, if you remember. That's the 50% retracement. But you see how clean this is. So when you come into Neo, doesn't mean that it's not. I mean, it could become a great trade, but the fact of the chart, I was talking to some of you today too, and it's like when you go and you review what charts are you trading, and then it's like, wow, how come you're trading Neo instead of MU, for instance, if you're doing a swing or whatever, right? It's not even, I mean, not even same category. Even though it's at a 50% retracement, you can call it whatever it is, but it's not the same trade. You can see it's similar on a daily, but the potential for the big trade is not there as it is for MU, for instance. So what I want to see here, it's look at all the volume that we have at 35. So can you scalp it? Yeah, you can scalp it 33 for 35 and then 35 for 38, which is 10%. Don't get me wrong. So Neo, I'm making no call on this one, but 35 to 38 for scalps, right? Just based on the last 5 days structure, right? So it's just a momentum trade, 34, 35, 38, just a momentum scalp. Not much right there. Then if we start seeing like 38, 39, then we can go revisit the daily chart and then we can see what's up. So what am I missing here? Net, Cloudflare, security, cybersecurity is not part of the NASDAQ move. So this is interesting. I just saw that one. So big, massive distribution today. Pretty much the last move was deleted. So how far can we go? This is interesting because 108, once we break 108, we go 91. And 108 is right there. That was the low of today. So this is potentially another short. So net under 108 for 91 is a momentum trade, right? Why is it momentum trade? Because we're far from my entry. My ideal entry should have been around here, but we just broke point of control today. So let's see if the weekly is going to give me a better look to understand. This is a weekly chart. This is the point that I try to make. Like when you start throwing your fibs and you just gave up like all of it, like this is actually not bullish. This is actually bearish, right? You gave up the whole thing. So you're trapping people or you're distributing people. When do we get again sort of bullish on this one? Over 142. You can see it here. I'll play it over 142, which will be really good. Okay, so keep alerts on net if we start going over 140, 142. Reason being because when these patterns fail, they trap a lot of people here short. So if they try to short it, say tomorrow 108, they boom, and then they start coming back at 133. We want to go long. This one, very aggressive, but it works when it does. When it doesn't, you stop out and you just lose 1 hour. No big deal. So net, keep an eye as a momentum short, 108 with 93, and look for over 132 on a weekly long. So those are the two sides of net. Whew, what time is it? 6:53. Let me have some coffee. Wow, I'm out of shape. Net, DDOG. I think this was on the watch list today. So another one. This is security too, I think. Not sure. This is too crowded right here. Let me just clean this up. Remove the drawing. Remove the drawing. I have so many drawings right here. So what's going on with DDOG? So DDOG, it's fib. We're at 38%. So at any point that we start coming back up, I'll probably take a shot at this one. 170 could be. 170 is that 50 MA. Also like this volume right here to hold. So could be 165, 170 if you want to be very aggressive. If you don't want to be too aggressive, you can do 180 to 200. Pretty simple. I like the fact that he's in a squeeze, 14, so he hasn't triggered. This is just a big range. Let me show you on the weekly. You should be able to see a range. This is just a range. It's a range trading, right? It's not, that's why I say I like it, because I'm not trying to pick a bottom. I'm just inside a range. This is just a range. So let's change that call and let's call this one what it is, because we should have been long today at 151. Haha, you're right. The DOG, but if we were looking at the weekly chart, we should have known that 150 is a range, the bottom of the range, 150 to 185. So yes, could have been a valid trade today. Range trade, 150, 185, 170 for 185. Momentum. Yep. Okay, over 170, 50 MA. Or versus 150. I don't think we're going to test it again. If we test it, it's just not good. But I'll see it. I'll see what's up. Let's put an alert right here, 163. So we are aware of today's. It's always something. We always miss trades, of course. So much stuff going on any given day. So C-scaler is pulling back. This is probably like a 23% retracement. Let's see if the weekly is telling us something here. press the wrong button. So let me see the weekly. I don't like it. I don't like it as much. This is like a pivot now. So this is a lower high. So this could actually sell off once we start dropping under 269 for 252. So Z scalar on the 269 for 252. See the monthly. Yeah, 252 looks like everybody can see it, right? 252. So that means if we start falling, GLD gold, 272, 269 will be under this one to 252. I like that trade. Yeah, I like that Z scalar. Let's take someone right here. Gold. Oof. What do I think? Check the monthly chart. It's been sideways for 2 years. 169. Yep. Don't see much. Okay. UPST, DDO, C, CrowdStrike. Guys, these ones are selling off. So this could be good shorts. This one is a squeeze, 8-day squeeze, 189. We have the alligator mouth right here. So we can see 154. So look at the, hey, is this an H, Kyle? Looks like an H.
But you got that other support right there. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to break this 170, right? It's just 183 to 170. That's a 10%. What I'm looking for is it can get nasty because we can see 152 on this one. So I'm not gonna call it that strategy because that's not my forte. So I'm gonna say CrowdStrike or under 189 for target one. This support right here. 170, 173, 173, 175, 170. And then under 170, we go 152. Just remember Python, guys. We nailed that one. They do fall. So CrowdStrike, it's on a watch for a short. Wow, these are looking bad. Absolutely. Probably it's going to take a couple days. Probably it's not going to trigger tomorrow, but it's going to take a couple days. Sideways consolidation. Look at the volume that we're leaving behind. That's possible. This is possible distribution. So if it's not, guess what? Over 207, we buy it. So I'm going to put my alert at 207. Simple. It's either or. It's either or. What else? Guys are asking about plug. Let me just double check, make sure everybody gets heard. So plug, point of control, 25, over 30 for 32, 10% move. Block. Over 30 for 32, 33. Point of control. That's probably the main thing that I can say about that one. I don't see a pattern right there. Hewlett Packard. HPQ. That continues to run. Momentum, all-time highs. Momo. Roku. I think it's 235 is the entry for Roku that I want. So we have a squeeze 12. That's sort of, this is a, first one worked. First fib retracement worked. Now we're working on this double top formation right here. So we have a clear downtrending. I think we call this one too. We hit the 200 right here, which is this support. Almost 177, 190, almost that day. Big volume, possible capitulation right here. Problem is here. I thought we were going to have continuation after that move up. We didn't. So 241, I'd rather have 250. 250 for 275. Roku. I don't want to short it. That's the one thing that I want to do. Not right here, right? Look at the weekly. So this is messed up. But if we start seeing people willing to pay up, yeah, we see 275, 295. What else? We did the Roku already. Angel, Plug, Hewlett Packard, Uber is posted in the topics, guys. You know, I don't like trading Uber, but let's take a look at this one. So what we have is like, wow, 20. Is this a 20? Oh, last time we spoke, that was a low, and then not even the Santa Claus rally, pull back to this one right here. So check the monthly. I don't have a structure right there. This is all selling. These are tails, guys. These are topping tails. This is red, this is red, this is red, this is red. Little green, red, red, little green, green. So, man, anything can happen. It's coming for earnings. But if anything, this is the entry, 35, not 45. Right? Yep. I don't want to mess with that one. Yeah, if we go 44, 46, 50, yeah. Let me see if there's anything that we need absolutely, because we got like we're 4 minutes over, and I think we cover pretty much everything that I wanted. I just wanted to, like we said, like securities are down. Check the banks. Look at the move yesterday. That's how I picked up today. The gap up on JP Morgan, and I posted for the room. That was a big gainer. 165. Look at the volume, good volume, 169. Look at the monthly chart. So over 172, all-time highs for the banks. Goldman Sachs, same formation. Bank of America, similar formation, same formation. Wells Fargo, same formation. Actually, over 55, we can actually really go, because the weekly, the daily looks like we're breaking out, but look at the volume in the monthly. Once we go over 55, we go 66. Okay, for Wells Fargo, over 55 for 66. And then we have the General Motors. I think it's the other one that is on everybody's radar. So we're finally making new highs after, my God, like a month or so. So yeah, it was nasty, the sell-off, but finally it's catching up. So all of the cars. What else? CCL. And check the charts, check the charts that we posted last time, because I think this one is down close to 10%, 15% from the first time that we said that don't buy. Piton is over. So yeah, Piton is over. 60. I think we shorted. The call was from 90, if I'm correct. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Great to be back. Make sure you on top of your strategies. If you need any help, don't hesitate to contact me or Kyle. What we do is pretty simple. That is complicated because it has a lot of nuance into what looks like a perfect chart. If you're not trading a perfect chart, you're making it too hard
in the details, right?
It all goes into details, and people are like, yeah, this is a 1, 2, 3. No, that's not a 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is an H. No, that's not an H. Oh, this is a pullback to VWAP. No, it's not a pullback to VWAP. You don't have the R ball. So it may look similar, but it may not be similar. So make sure that you contact us if you need any help fine-tuning your strategies. This is the best time to do it. We're beginning of the new year. So let's make some money, guys. See you tomorrow.
All right. See you in the morning.
Okay. Bye.